Nah. You're gonna sit here now for the whole video. How about this? What if I go to bed and just don't film this video and then you can do it for me, all right? So why don't you sit here, so you sit there and then you film the video and I'll go to bed. I think that's a great idea. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. All right, make sure you do a good job. What is good, everyone, and welcome back yet again to another brand new video. We are still in self-isolation. We are still in quarantine here in the UK. My girlfriend actually had to give me a haircut the other day, so let me know how she did. I think she did a pretty good job. Seeing as she'd never cut hair before, I was quite scared letting her near my head with scissors, but she did a pretty good job. Today in this video, we have another tech talk slash photography, videography discussion. What is potentially my favorite lens in my kit right now, and that is the 85mm 1.4 by Sigma. Obviously you can get the Canon version and the Sony version, but the 85mm in general is just absolutely incredible. I bought this lens back, I think, in January, and ever since just having it in my kit, it's actually been my go-to. It used to be my 50mm, my 35mm, but this lens is just so good. I think I've used this lens for pretty much every single one of my street POV or POV photography videos. That's mental. Wait, let me check that. Oh my God. Holy shit, I actually have. All right, so I've been using this lens for all of my POV photography videos. The ones I did in Wales, the one I did in Amsterdam, the one I did on the rooftop. So I think that speaks for itself. This lens is so good. So this is probably my all-time favorite lens. I have been using this for all of my B-roll. I've been using this for a lot of my street photography, as you guys have seen. And I actually use this for majority, I think about 80 to 70% actually was shot of the ghost ship film that me and Nightscape brought out last week was all shot on this lens and the 50mm and the 14mm, but a majority of those shots from that film, especially from the beginning, the train scenes and at the end, was all shot on the 85mm 1.4. So before we dive any further into this video, I just want to quickly say, no matter what camera you're shooting on, whether it be Sony or Nikon or Canon, there are different versions of the 85mm. Of course, this is my one, this is very big, but I know the Sony E-mount 85mm 1.8 is very small, and the 85mm 1.4 G Master is a little bit pricey, but they're nowhere as big as this. So don't be scared by the size. Of course, this one works perfectly for me, hence why I have it, because I love Sigma lenses and Sigma make amazing glass. But you can get different versions of the 85mm, obviously, if you're worried a lot about the size. Oh, you've come back in now, have you? She just wanders in when she wants. Look at her. This lens, I think, does such a good job when it comes to shooting, you know, urban, street, city style photos, because the compression of it is just so nice. It's so like buttery smooth. So one of the things that I love to do over on this channel, which is pretty much where I started my photography career, is through urban street photography, especially with fashion and sneakers. That's pretty much how I, you know, started photography. But using this in like an urban street environment, since buying it, it's literally all I've been using. Like, I'm not neglecting all my other lenses. So when you're shooting like, I don't know, a subject or someone, you know, walking across a bridge, or I don't know, like a product in a sort of street urban environment, it just does such an amazing job keeping that subject just looking so sharp and in focus, and then you've got that nice buttery smooth background. I think it can literally take such a standard photo and just make it look amazing because you've shot it on an 85. So a lot of people have asked me, like, Ben, how do you get that specific look? How do you get that, you know, that really nice compressed look in your B-roll, in your cinematics? And since using this, like, obviously I've had questions like that in the past, but especially since using the 85mm in a lot of my videos, it is all to do obviously with the lens, with the camera, you know, the weather conditions, the subject. So a lot of it is to do with different things, but of course the lens is a very big part in making the footage look like that, if that makes sense. So I think earlier on in the video I did briefly mention about the short film that me and Nightscape released last week. If you haven't seen that, by the way, click up here to go watch it. We got such a good response back from that video. I honestly cannot tell you how happy me and Harry are that you guys love that film. We had so much fun making it, and it took a really long time to edit, so we are very, very grateful that you guys love that film. But yeah, back to the 85. So like I said, majority of the film, I say about 80 to 70% of that film was shot on this lens right here, especially that London cinematic opening scene. That scene when we filmed it with the 85, we just loved the way it looked. It just looked so good, especially with the exploration gear that Harry was wearing against that, you know, that nice London city environment. It just made him look so much better. And obviously you got the compression when he was on the rooftop, you got the compression of when he was like walking through the streets, and obviously the subjects and the, you know, the boots, the jacket, everything he was wearing was so nice and sharp and in focus all the time. The lens did not let us down at all. So that was literally why we used it for that specific scene. And then obviously throughout the whole film, we were literally switching from 14mm to the 85 and then a few on the 50. But this performed so well. I did buy this actually back in December last year. So I've had this for quite a while now, and I was planning on making a video about it, but I wanted to test it out in the field first. I wanted to use it for a bit and just see what I thought of it, because I never really used an 85mm that much since obviously I bought it. It's been around. Obviously I've taken this to Ireland. I took it to Rice Festival in France up in the mountains. I took it to Wales when we went for like a little 2-day trip up in Wales when it was like hailing and snowing, and this done such a good job, especially in like bad weather conditions. Obviously I wouldn't advise taking it out in like torrential rain and hail, but it didn't break. It did such a good job when I was using it in those kind of environments, and I literally had it on me the whole time. I think when I was in Wales, it was the only lens that I brought with me because I knew that it was not gonna fail me whatsoever. So it's one of those lenses that I can, like I said, rely on. I said rely quite a lot, but I can rely on this so much, and I know that the image that it will produce is going to be So I just quickly want to show you what the inside of this lens actually looks like, because I'm telling you, like, I don't know if you can see this, but the layers of glass inside this is honestly ridiculous. It looks like a telescope when you look through it. There's so many layers of glass. And of course, this is a f1.4. So if anyone that doesn't know what 1.4 is, it means the aperture inside this, the iris inside opens up to a 1.4 aperture. So it lets in so much light, hence why this lens is so good in low light, especially in my rooftop POV photography. Is a good example of when I use this in low light, and it just crushed it so well. The detailing that it picked up when we were shooting at, like, I think it was 1 in the morning, we were on this rooftop and we were shooting down the city and the street lights, and I was using this at a 1.4. It lets in so much light, and that is another reason why I love this lens, because obviously low light for me is like, I love rooftop night photography, and this just, again, just crushes it. I'm just gonna completely ruin next week's video, but ooh, look at that. It's like a nightclub. Boom, 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 boom. Another great example that I'm going to give to you guys when I've used this out in the real world, when I've used this for like brand work and things like that, a company called Fossil that do like smart men's watches actually approached Eyal, one of my friends, and asked him to shoot a campaign. And he asked me if I would want to shoot it for him, and we went and done 2 photo shoots, one in the city in Liverpool Street, and then we did another one in this cool like jungle area in Canary Wharf. And literally the only lens that I used for that entire campaign was the 85, because obviously the product that he was shooting, one was a classic watch and one was a smart watch. The ones in the jungle environment, we used like the grass as foreground and things like that. And then when we were out in the streets in the city shooting the smart watch, we got really nice bokeh. We got like the city lights, and just everything came together so nicely. And that is literally just because of this lens. And I didn't bring anything else with me, just my A7R2 and this lens, nothing else. So that just goes to show that you can earn money from this. If you're looking to upgrade, of course, don't go rushing into buying a lens, because that's the worst thing you can do, because I've done that before, just rushing into buying a lens or seeing a good review on it, rushing into buying it and then realizing it's not for you. Maybe go to a camera store, maybe try it out, see what you like about it, make sure you are using it for what you need it for, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that makes sense. Should make sense. It makes sense to me a bit, sort of. But yeah, no, make sure you get a lens that fits all your requirements before investing the money. So that is pretty much it for me and the 85mm. I hope this video was informative and did help anyone out there who is looking into getting one of these lenses, or just anyone who's looking to upgrade or buy a lens. Hopefully this video was helpful and hopefully gives you an idea about what kind of lenses I was using for my photos that I've shot previously. So again, I hope that helps. Don't forget to leave a like, rate, and subscribe if you are new. And that is about it. I'll see you guys very, very soon in the next one. Peace.